back again here at V-Time, episode 51. We've reached that 50 mark, we passed through it, we're trucking on. And we got so much more to talk about that all the other YouTubers covered already.
Yeah.
But that's how we roll. V-Time starts recording on Friday, show up on Saturday, give us a little bit of what we're thinking, what's happening, and so forth. But before that, we want to just first say the new set of Astro Force just got released here in English. If you're really interested in picking up any of the cards in this set, please use our affiliate link down below in the description.
Purchases through this link help support the channel so that we can bring you more great content.
And with that scripted part out of the way, let's go back to the episode and do the week's leaks. Starting us off with Nectar. Some nice Nectar grade ones, rares and commons, nothing too special. We got Maiden of Sweetberry, Auto Vanguard Rearguard, when placed, call up to 1 plant token to Rearguard, and if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Soul Charge 1. And then the other ability is Continuous Rearguard during your turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, this unit gets power 5k. Honestly, not a bad card. We've already play tested this with Madison. It's honestly going to be a very good staple for Ahsha for the simple fact that a lot of costs now Soul Blast.
Yeah, and on top of that, anything given a Vanguard power in Ahsha right now is good because it gives it pretty much across your whole board.
I mean, this doesn't give Vanguard power, but it does give it self power, becoming a 13k booster.
Oh, right, wrong, sorry.
Regardless, it's not a bad card. Like, that Soul Charge is going to be nice and key. The other card is fully Tangerine, act rearguard cost, retire this unit, call up to 1 plant token rearguard, and this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. So it's a 12k with a plant token, so 17k column technically. I mean, Nectars have so many different plant token generations.
It's probably not going to be used because it replaces itself to make a 10k
oh yeah, it does
or
replace
15k
itself.
plant token.
That unit gets 10k token.
Or 15 if you're running out Arboros.
Correct.
Yeah.
They've got so much token generation, it's left and right in it. There's a lot of variety. But moving on to Gears.
Yes. Some interesting Mystery Flare support. Steam Performer Ibrium.
Whatever.
Yeah. Auto Rearguard. When your Vanguard is attacked, cost bind a card from your hand and move this unit to guard circle. Get shield +5 until the end of the battle.
So it's a 15k interceptor technically from the back row. It's honestly not a bad card. For Mystery Flare, it's pretty decent because you can get to that bind number a little bit faster.
Especially with the new grade 3 where you can just keep calling these out of your deck.
I guess it's good because you can think of it this way. You're basically binding, let's say, a grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, depending on how you built your gears, from your hand that has 0 shield and giving her 5k shield.
Yeah.
So you're technically losing a card from hand as you would with guarding, but now you're making use of it by putting the binds on and still getting shield out of it.
Exactly. It's not bad. And then the next one is Steam Engineer Imta. Auto Rearguard. When its attack hits, cost bind this unit, draw a card, and bind a card from your hand. It has to hit. That's the problem.
Early game. Early game.
I mean, early game maybe, but then again, it has to hit.
I mean, whenever a Vanguard swinging with 2 crits, big numbers, triple drive, I'd rather take a Rearguard that has a non-hit than that Vanguard.
At the same time, I'll also rather have a card that instantly works instead of having to rely on a hit.
Agreed. Anyway, moving on. The stream happened.
Yep. And of course, you know, the last one of the 3 finally got revealed.
And she's probably arguably the best one of the 3. Arguably. On her own.
Yes. On paper, it is really good.
Yep. When you put the decks all together, that's a different story. But we'll talk about that later. First, we're going to go from the bottom up like always. We got Osmanthus Maiden Anelma. I think I said that right. Regardless, it's a double rare, sorry. Grade 2, really good for Nectars. Auto Vanguard Rearguard when placed. Counterblast on Soul Blast on draw a card and call a plant token to Rearguard. Its other ability is Continuous Rearguard. If you have a Rearguard on your Rearguard with the same card name as your grade 3 or greater Vanguard, all your units get boost. Not a bad card. She's a little bit reminiscent of Violinist in roles, but better in my opinion because she gives everything boost, even your Ahshas. And that does matter because of the DR.
Yep.
And all that plus. Like a lot of people are going, it's a big cost, Counterblast one, Soul Blast one. But you gotta look at it this way. You Counterblast Soul Blast one to make the Rearguard a token that you can honestly sack with different abilities and to draw a card. Like, it's just a plus.
The best way to think of this is think of Berserk Dragon, but think of Berserk Dragon making a Rearguard with it.
Exactly. It's honestly good. And it's a Vanguard Rearguard. Like Berserk Dragon Rearguard, you don't draw.
Yeah, I mean, it's the draws you on Rearguard too, so.
It's good. It's honestly good. And then the reason why we say Ahsha is the need boost. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Green spinning ranunculus Ahsha, aka a better Pacifica. Anyway, the reason I say that is it has two abilities. First one, continuous vanguard. During your turn, if you have 2 or more units with Ahsha in their card names, this unit gets power 10k. If you have 3 or more units, 3 or more, it gets critical +1. Its other ability is act vanguard once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1, retire 2 rear guards, and call an Ahsha Flower Fairy token to rear guard. Honestly, a really good card.
I mean, Soul Blast and Retire 2 is already better than the one they got in the trial deck.
But the trial deck one, yes and no. The trial deck one, I say, kind of balances itself out because when you ride it, you cannot plus 1 make 2, so you only need 1 more rear guard to sack to make the token. So it's kind of balanced. This thing, on the other hand, doesn't make any tokens, but it's a reduced cost, like you said.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, as long as you have a Ahsha Flower Fairy token, you're automatically getting 10k.
Oh yeah, because you have 2 units, the Vanguard and the token, because the token is regarded as the Vanguard.
Then if you have another one, or another Ahsha in general in the rear guard, then you get a critical, which obviously matters a lot, as we've seen in our playtest videos.
Yep, because you gotta think, the Vanguard gets a critical, which means the token will get the critical as well. So you have already 2 big swingers with double critical. Force 1 is really good now.
Mm-hmm.
Other pointers for this card, be careful of Soul Blast. That's where that grade 1 we were talking about really does come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the grade 2 we saw with this league, you know, Ahsha's in the back row can now boost. It's actually really good. You gotta also still be careful because fairy tokens cannot be boosted. So keep that in mind. But moving on, let's go through some of these little small cards real quick. Some new Royal Paladins got leaked. We got a grade 2 and a grade 1. Is it a grade 1? Yeah, it is a grade 1. It's an interesting grade 1. Both of them are rares and commons. This one, on the other hand, kind of is surprising with its effect. Hope Song Angel, act rearguard once per turn, costs Cannabis 1, search your deck for up to 1 String-Light Violinist, call it a Starlight Violinist, call it a rearguard, and shuffle your deck. So it searches out your grade 2 that gives all your grade 2s boost if you have no face-up damage. It's honestly not a bad card.
I mean,
but there's better ways to search that card.
I mean, I found the search card really good. Because now you have a target for Air Divine Alt Mal from your deck, and then you can use its skill to call Violinist, so you get 2 cards out of the deck.
You're not wrong, but you need 2 Cannabis.
Yeah, but you won't Cannabis.
Yeah, but you need 2 Cannabis.
I mean, if you go on Aerial Alt Mal first,
you're not wrong, but there's other cards.
Damage.
Depending, literally, this does come down to depending on how you build your deck. True. With the way I build my deck, I can go if I have 2 Cannabis, I can go Aerial Divine Alt Mal, grab my Violinist, and grab an Iconic, and grab a Pongo and Soul Charge. It's a good card and it's a good flavor for people to play. It just depends on how you want to play it.
Yeah.
The other common is an interesting one. It's a grade 1, Aggregate Angel, continuous rearguard. If you have 6 units, this unit gets power 15k, making it a 20k beater, booster, whatever you want.
Yep.
Not a bad skill. Finding space, building the deck, maybe a Soul Saver. Honestly, beef your numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. More Neos. We got a rare and a common for Neos, both of them grade 2.
The rare's probably going to be used. I don't know about the common.
Probably not. The rare is Maiden of Fine Ale. Act rearguard cost Cannabis 1, retire this unit, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 2 cards from among the rearguard, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Depending, it is a Royal Paladin dilemma of if the top deck has all triggers. Ouch. But still, it's a 1 for 2. Not too bad. Like, honestly, you put this in Ahsha. Hey, I'm gonna call this card, Cannabis 1, retire it, make 2 units, and then I'm gonna Soul Blast 1, retire those 2 units, make a token.
Yeah.
Kinda.
The things were good to me.
Works out.
The Carrier Blast is a lot easier to work around than Soul Blast in the deck.
Not wrong. Madcap Wilgaki?
Wilgaki.
Act. Rearguard. Cost. Retire this unit and call 2 plant tokens to rearguard.
That's it.
I think there's a better one that does the same thing but gives the plant tokens power.
Yeah.
So, why run this?
Hey, look at this. Gear leaks.
Finally we saw it. We've known about these effects for the longest time.
We just didn't know how the power integrated would be.
Exactly.
But Steam with Dragons here.
Yeah.
Of course, he has the regular, search for the grade 3 effect. And then continuous, Vanguard Rearguard during a turn. If your card was discarded from your hand this turn, you get power plus 5.
So I paid Jet or Fang skill, it immediately is a 13k.
Use its own
Easy.
skill, and you get grade 3. You immediately pay for its skill.
Not wrong. Like, it's honestly a good card with the current gears because the amount of ditch, you're always gonna get it. Oh no.
So, as of today, they started leaking other stuff. So,
real quick intro into this. Like, we've always known about Tuesday streams, they were the big streams. Recently, there's Friday streams happening, and from what I understand, I think for Black Rose, thank you. These Friday streams are more casual streams revealing more stuff. And they've always been showing some interesting stuff, from promos to interesting cards to last week, the crit triggers. This time they decided to drop a big ass bomb shelf.
So we got a card from the Majesty Lord Blaster. And
not just a card.
We got the Order.
And
the Blaster Dog.
And it's shocking, and the community is a little bit frustrated.
So, we had a theory that this is what was going to happen with this, but we didn't actually think they were actually going to do it.
Nope.
But they did it, so now this opens up gateways to possibilities for deck buildings for different things down the road.
So I'm going to cover the Order, you grab the Dark, and explain the nice thing about the Dark.
Okay.
So, the Order, there's a few special things about the Order. First of all, it's light and shadow crossing in gray. And as you can notice from the picture, it's Blaster Dark and Blaster Blade Sword. What else you can notice, a picture on the bottom of it, it's a Royal Paladin only order. So it's a clan specific order, first of its kind, and also opens avenues to more orders being clan specific. But what does this normal order do?
What grade is this order?
Grade 2. So you can technically search it out. Oh, I know. But what does this order do? Well, it has 3 things. Perform one of the abilities below and shuffle your deck. So you can either, if you have a Blaster Blade on your Vanguard or Rearguard, search your deck for up to 1 Blaster Dark, reveal it, put it into your hand. Or, if you have a Blaster Dark on your Vanguard or Rearguard, search your deck for up to 1 Blaster Blade, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Or, if you have Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark on your Vanguard or Rearguard, search your deck for up to 1 Majesty Lord Blaster, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So basically, this order is basically any of those cards, just you can get it from deck. It's basically a ticket. Give me.
You have one, you're missing the other, grab the other. You have both, grab Majesty Lord. Pretty much it. You can only activate one of these a turn though, because the whole order rule, and you can only play one turn.
Correct. We're gonna go more into order rulings in the next video. We probably should have done it this video, but we're kind of short on time.
We got a lot to talk about.
So yeah, a lot to talk about. But one thing I do want to mention about this order, yes, you can use it once per turn. You gotta be careful how you play it, or this, not only that, this opens kind of avenues to what Majesty Lord Blaster can do, because if I has his old counterpart, he's probably gonna work with you having Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark.
Yes.
The only question is he gonna work like the old one of having them in Soul? He's gonna put them in Soul, or you just need them on Rearguard. With this, you're always gonna get those conditions. You ride a Blaster Blade, you can grab your Blaster Dark. You ride a Blaster Dark, you can grab your Blaster Blade. You have both of them on your grade 2 turn, you can grab your grade 3. You have your grade 3 on and you have one of the two and you need both, you can grab the other two. Like, it opens and fixes things. Especially in the deck that only runs 1 grade 3, 4 copies of it.
This seems pretty good though.
Now, speaking of which, Blaster Dark.
Yeah, so of course they hinted at a new skill coming for Blaster Dark. So, what is this new skill? Let's talk about it. Auto! Vanguard Rearguard, 1 place, cost. Counterblast 1, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retires it. Seems pretty familiar, right?
Not bad. It's a good skill.
Act. Vanguard, once per turn. If your opponent has no rearguards, discard a card from your hand and it gets an extra drive finish on a turn.
Hey, that's a really good skill for early game.
Continuous. It's also a valid.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
It's literally just, Blaster Dark, with the continuous, these are Royal Paladin slap on it.
I mean...
But, do note.
Yes, exactly.
Important note. This is not an errata. Meaning that if you want to play Majesty Lord Blaster, you have to have this Blaster Dark.
Yep. You cannot splice in your old Blaster Darks, you cannot splice in your XVR Blaster Darks, you cannot splice in your Char Expo Blaster Darks. It has to be specifically this Blaster Dark from this trial deck or legend deck or whatever you want to call this thing.
I mean, I know what it is. They did this because now they don't have to have the special Rada ruling in premium anymore.
I mean, look at what's happening with Riviera because of that. Or look at what's happening with all the starters, honestly.
Yeah. But like, just think about it though, like now, whenever you go into premium, they have to have this Blaster Dart now, the Majesty Lord, even OG one.
So later down the road, if anybody uses the old Blaster Dart in the Royal Paladin deck, call them out on it.
I don't know, that the ruling's probably still there, but they're probably doing this because they're planning on Xing out that whole ruling. That way you can just say, okay, well this Blaster Dart says it's a Royal Paladin, so there you go, now you don't worry about rulings.
I think what they did is that ruling only applies in premium. Don't quote me on it. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments below. But I think they did this for standard only. Because in premium, the thing is understood because of Majesty Lord. In standard, we don't have Majesty Lord, or it doesn't work exactly that way. So, leave in the comments to correct me. Otherwise, that's our spiel on it, and that's the interesting part. Moving on.
Big leaks.
Not even leaks.
This is big.
It's about time. It's about time. Because you gotta think, in Japan, we are just about to get next week the whole next stage set.
I'll get that, but I'm saying the information in this set's big.
Oh yeah, that, yeah. But it's about time we got it. That's what I mean. Because, like I said, next week, next stage, the set is finally getting released in Japan. And then after that, we didn't know anything about. We knew what clans we're gonna get in certain sets, and we knew about the Majesty Lord deck and all that. But after that, we didn't know nothing. Now what the cover art, what unit we're getting. We could speculate, but we know nothing. And now we know. Now we know. We are getting.
Changes the game completely.
Not really. This just confirms a lot of things. We are getting Silver Pel Dragonflame, and yes. This is the next set after the Majesty Lord deck, and yes, as you can notice, it has my boy Messiah on the cover, but it also has DX.
And Blade Master.
Oh, don't go ahead! Bad Alex. Anyway, this set is a big set, got revealed, and as you can see from the picture, like I said, Messiah, DX. To be more specific, this is Alter Ego Messiah, and this is of course your Chronicle, the Cross, the X, however you want to call it. But as also you can notice on the picture, we got 33 SPs. That's a lot. That's reminiscent to what they're going to do with the next stage set, where they're going to put SP packs probably in.
Yes.
But as you can also notice, there are no SVRs. So that's a fun fact.
And a fun fact about this is a main booster, which means 5 VRs.
Yep. Which one is getting a double VR? Because you got to think, it's Kagura, Link, Joker, Dimension, Please, and OTT. 4 clans, 5 VRs, who's getting the extra like Shadows did at one time? Well, to answer your question, is this picture. We're getting Blade Master again. And this time he's finally a VR. They're not giving the triple rare treatment. Do note though, it is not Cohen and it's not Titan. It's actually a new one called Dragonic Blade Master Soin. If I remember correctly, seeing it somewhere, Soin roughly translates to Twin Blade, which makes sense from the picture. We're also getting, as people can see, Great Cosmic Hero Grand Gallops making his back appearance. And for those that can't read Japanese, the art yet to be released that's still being worked on is Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo. Susanoo's coming back.
But we don't have art yet.
No.
Probably have it soon.
This though does open up a lot of avenues, as Alex said.
Yes.
Because what does this mean?
Well, we're confirmed in straight G reboot now.
Straight ass G reboot.
So if you see a clan, you pretty much already know what's coming.
Yep. Speaking of which, the next set after this one is Pale Moon, Grand Blue, Murakumo, and Dark Regular. So if it's a straight ass G-boot, Hari, Night Rose, Yasui, and Shahara. Or this is now our little bit speculations here. Cause that set is I think also predicted to be a main booster.
Yes.
So if they're also following this trend about 5 VRs, one of the clans is gonna double up. So let's go over a little bit of process and elimination.
Well,
is Pale Moon gonna double up?
No. And my reasoning for that is because Ruby Labyrinth was like kind of equally split popularity. So Night Rose and Hari will each have 1 VR each because of that.
So that also eliminates Grand Blue. Then that just leaves Murakumo and Nia. Will Murakumo get a second VR?
I doubt it. We get Yasui, but what other VR would they get?
Exactly. Unless they make another dueling dragon.
I doubt it. They already covered all the ones in the
So that just leaves Dark Regular. What possible 2 VRs could Dark Regular have?
Well, considering the new Shin arc showed that Asuka's brother?
I think its younger brother is supposed to be the Gas Steel Drift Ride.
Yeah, he's the guy that was running Gastil back in the G. So
it's very likely that we might get Shahar and Gastil. There's also still the small chances of us seeing either Reiji or Amon. Those chances are a lot smaller compared to Gastil.
well, I mean, it's still there because of the fact that we got the cross.
Well, yeah, but the cross, if we got the end, you knew the cross was coming eventually.
Yeah, no, but this gives hope. It gives hope.
Speaking of which, I do want to travel back over to that set and talk about a little bit about Alter Ego and a little bit of the cross and a little bit of Soin as well. The cross was a legion back in the normal era. What is he gonna do now? Because the end is already standing 3 times. And if the cross is anything reminiscent to his old self, he's gonna work with the end. How?
If you have the end in your soul, V stand 5 times. All the restand, V stand.
Oh my god. Alter Ego Messiah. This is for all my Messiah players out there. For all my Messiah players out there. We need a good first stride and a good second stride. Because right now Harmonix is amazing, but you need a grade 3 in soul. So this Alter Ego needs to somehow either fix that problem or work around it.
Also be cool to have a rear guard ability too.
I know, right? And then, this is the biggest part. Divine Blade Master Soul. Blade Master right now is a weird card because he needs a grade 3 in soul, he needs 2 specific rear guards, and he makes a vision token. Whatever Soin does, if he's reminiscent to the current Blade Master, he's also probably going to make a vision token. He might work with the other 2. He also might work with a full or empty board. But it's gonna be weird how he works, because if he also requires a grade 3 in soul, that whole deck is gonna be weird to play.
It probably won't, but it's probably gonna have some string cost on it.
Exactly, but then my point is, if Soin is good, if Soin is really good, why even run the other Blade Master at all?
Resources. What if you don't have Counterblast or Soul Blast that Helen requires?
Agreed, but that's simple. Agreed.
Because then you can just ride over Blade Master, Dragonic Blade Master, and just Soul Blast the Soin.
We really, these questions are going to be big once they get answered. If anybody has any speculations, leave it in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you guys think.
But yeah.
Other than that, last bit of quick news. This was an interesting post on Twitter that happened from the official Vanguard site. And since we are finishing up here with next stage set and going into Majesty, once we finish Majesty, we're also going to see some premium collection leaks. Speaking of premium collection, and I'm going to pop this up here. Apparently, according to Bushy, to keep the card game spirits of our players burning despite the global pandemic, we are partnering with YouTubers Different Fight, Kai from the VVC, Vanguard Insider, and Song Vanguard to bring you exclusive reveals of Premium Collection 2020. First, I love what they're doing, involving the community, involving some of the YouTubers. Second, there are no American YouTubers.
Nope.
Third, why wouldn't we get any by Bushy, huh? I know the answer to the third one, we're way too small.
We're not popular enough.
Nah, nobody cares what we gotta say. But that is a great thing, and I can't wait for those YouTubers to actually start showing stuff, because I am curious to see how they're going to do it and how this all is going to work out. Because it's honestly a really interesting thing to do.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really interested for how Premium Collection is going to play out this time around.
Right? Like all the crit triggers people, the clans are going to get. Like they might be the 30k crits, or they might be something completely new again.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're actually excited to see what's in store. I'm also excited to see what that Cray Elemental is going to do. Like that's a big ass Cray Elemental.
Just give us a good Marathon for sure. That's all I ask.
You are dominating V. Shut up.
I just want one good first try.
Shut up. Anyway. That brings us to the end of this episode. You got anything else to add?
I don't think.
Nope. That was episode 51. If you liked this video, please leave a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and ring that bell for notifications. Maybe even follow us on Facebook. But other than that, like always, I've been Philip.
This is Alex.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Woo! Hey, we actually worked. The script worked. We're official.
And we got 5 minutes left.
Hey.